Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, children of all ages, this is the final episode of Homefront. Oh gosh, I'm going there. Final episode of season 2. So we want to thank you all very much for joining us. In season 1, we didn't think we could have beat back season 1, but we are here for our second season. And today, I am joined by the lady behind it all, JP, Dr. Paul,
yes.
who is, Dr. Paul, you have been the one who...
JP,
well,
JP.
We call her JP,
JP
on set, right?
JP, yeah.
But I want to make sure and recognize her because she's the director of the PED CARES Foundation and she's also an emergency care specialist as well. So, JP, first of all, let me say thanks. This has been a marvelous season. It has been a marvelous season.
Thanks to you, actually. Yep.
For those of you who didn't know, I was being fed all of these questions by JP. She was the one to make sure she get all of her specialists in the field to come and have these interviews. So she is the lady behind all of this magic that has happened on Homefront. So again, thanks. Okay. So JP, in terms of the PED CARES Foundation, I know you're director.
Yep.
What does the foundation do? Give those new viewers, because now we're on all platforms. And we may have some new viewers who would not have been with us last season.
1.
So they would want to know, what's the PED CARES Foundation about?
So the thing is, you've had Dr. Vidya on, and she's the head department there. So there's the pediatric emergency department in Trinidad. It's the only consultant-led pediatric emergency in the Caribbean. And so they have consultants there and senior doctors there 24/7. So what we do, we're PED CARES Foundation, we support them, but also we support the entire hospital, the pediatric hospital. So we support the pediatric ICU, the surgery wards, the medical wards. And the thing is, I want people to know that it's almost like a given and to and fro. We are supporting them to make sure when people's children come to the hospital, they have the best international experience, everything. We have the doctors, nurses, we want to have every circumstance international standards. So we tell people, give back to that. So they're giving back to us, to give back to themselves, because we're giving back to the public. But also, the two things that the foundation does is that we do that, plus we make Homefront. So it's the same way giving back. We wanted to make sure we produce something where persons get all the information. They talk about research. We're saying we're giving you the research, all the information. And that's why we have this foundation to be their support. So a lot of persons meet me and they tell me, we love this show, etc. I want the love to translate. I want them to go and say, here what, we love this show. We want to make sure we take care of our kids, put $100. We go and buy equipment with that. We go buy everything else, whatever is needed, extra stuff. Any support they want, we support them. So when your child comes in, you have everything you will need.
Yeah, the best care possible.
That's what we're looking for, beyond international standards, yeah?
So JP, how have we been doing in terms of the donations? People donating or they not?
They are, but I want more, right?
Right. But good, because we want to have a season 3.
Exactly.
If you all want to see a season 3 of Homefront and have JP and myself back here and give you all of this information and entertain you on all platforms that we said, then we need you all to go out there and donate. So head to the website and touch your pocket a little bit now. Oh God, you're stingy. Oh gosh. But no, we want to thank everybody who donated as well so far, but we need some more donations coming in so that we can give the best care to the kids in the pediatric department.
It comes naturally to us. Unstoppable energy. We use it to manifest a future. A future where energy takes new forms and is used in new ways for all of us. The new age of energy is here.
We need you all to go out there and donate. So head to the website and touch your pocket a little bit now. Oh God, you're stingy. Oh gosh. But no, we want to thank everybody who donated as well so far, but we need some more donations coming in so that we can give the best care to the kids in the pediatric department.
Right? Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so JP as well, you're here. I see you have your kumbaya beads on and you're ready to go.
All right, I have it on, man. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. So I have decided it's about, this show is also about thinking, right? So this is supposed to be where we tell a few points and people go, So I want to go make you go,
All right, all
right?
right, all right.
So the first point is about parity, where what they found, especially during the pandemic, is that persons actually get more stressed by not having parity. So they did this research where they gave a bunch of monkeys, they like grapes, but they gave them all cucumbers, right? So they said, all right, you're doing a task, you're moving a cup from here to there, we'll give you some cucumbers. So all of them had that, and they were like, all right, we're happy, we're getting crab food, but we're okay, because we have parity. But then they took half of them, and we say, here what, this group getting grapes, this group getting cucumbers, right? And then the ones who were getting cucumbers, they're like, what the jail is this? So they weren't stressed before, so they started to throw this stuff away, get vexed, they were hyped up, their cortisol levels went up because there wasn't parity. So my whole thing is that I have this label, I say Beamer T from Blanchy Shares. So if there's this typical person, Beamer T, who lives in a rural area, my whole thing is that we as a society should go towards parity where everybody has parity of care, parity of everything. We have the same access to care. It shouldn't be where I'm in a rural area and I don't know somebody and therefore I get below standard care, whether it's health sector or going wherever. So I think, and the thing is that I don't think people realize how much that stresses us out.
So when you say parity, you mean like equity? Meaning
well,
like
equity
we
and parity,
all of us on the same level?
Yeah, but it's not the same level. It's where we get, it's almost like equal rights, but it's not where it's a fair share all the time. And the thing is that when we don't get that, you know it is. Someone jumps your line, you get vexed. So I think we have to appreciate that that causes extra stress. So as an employer, as a health sector person, the goal should be going for Beamer T from Blanchy Shares. Every person should be treated the same as much as possible as if you would treat your relative.
Right.
Yeah? And my next point is to mention about the algorithm. And I know we have we have discussed that already, but I think people forget about in terms of Facebook. So my whole thing is not so much that there's an algorithm, right? My whole thing that the algorithm, the social media algorithm, is actually reflecting and making us have the same thing in our social lives. So on Facebook, if I like something, or if someone likes something, what happens is that the algorithm AI makes me get that person more in my feed. And they make me get stuff like that in my feed. So I'm now getting the same things I like reinforced. So therefore, I become divergent because I'm getting more of this. So I like something red, it'll give me red all the time. So the more red I see, I never see any blue at all. So I become like this. And so I find that in terms of social life, that social media is now affecting us, where we're doing the same thing in social life. So people now are only saying, I want to line with my peeps and my cliques, and they're staying in that. And then with the pandemic, it's made it worse. But we're not seeing how it used to be where, go line with someone, you don't like the person, but you listen to them and you say, you know what, I don't like what they're saying, but they might have some truth. That's fine, that's their truth. And the thing is that if you look straight there, no matter how intelligent I am, I will only see this. I will see a bit about this. I'll never see behind me. So the thing is that no matter how good you think your opinions are, you could never see 360 degrees.
I always say, JP, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know, yeah, definitely.
So we only know, as you say, we only know this, or we only know this,
Yeah.
and then you line with people who know probably a little bit more or a little bit less, and you kind of, as we kept saying throughout the season, you're in your bubble.
The bubble.
You're in your bubble.
Get out of the bubble.
Get out of the bubble.
And just, you mightn't agree with them, but they can see a perspective that you have not been able to see. And just appreciate that so you can see the entire issue 360 degrees.
That's why I always like and I always advise companies to make sure that you don't put same like-minded people on a board or on a team, because you want to mix the views. I never like to be on a team of people where everybody agree with everything that I say. I always like to have one or two people who have a totally different mindset from me to object what I'm going to say, because now it's going to open my mind a bit. There's a difference in opinion here and may not be seeing something else here.
Exactly.
And it opens your eyes.
It does. And they always talk about that. They say about having a board where you have diverse persons, age diversity, race diversity, everything diversity, and also gender.
To make sure you have a woman, at least one woman or a couple, because you all have a different perspective from men. So that's a great point as well. So that's two down.
That's two. And the third one is my major peeve. I really I think that with this pandemic, persons are, they're going wrong. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I am a firm believer of individual choice, and I think people have their rights and stuff. I try to listen, especially. I'm not mocking anybody at all, but everybody's going around like, oh, yeah, my individual choice, etc. I want to know, I want to choose, or it's my choice to do this thing about my vaccine. I think persons are forgetting about the collective choice, the collective freedom. And the thing about it is that when they're clashing, collective freedom and collective choice, it trumps everything else. So for instance, if you're married, and of course, as a you want to watch a Chelsea Man U match, you want to go online with the guys on the avenue, drink a beer, obviously. But if you're married with 5 children and your wife says, on this Friday evening, let's go just have some family time. You wait and you decide the family choice. You're no longer an individual, you're a family man. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to the bar, but if you're going to have family time, you have to decide I'm part of that unit. So you have to make a collective choice. And I find for this one, persons are seeing individual freedom as the everything. The thing is that with vaccination, which makes us now have collective freedom. We now be able to go beaches, rivers. We're now able to go get carnival, live some sort of life as a collective unit. So for instance, we talk about this collectiveness. It's actually there all the time with vaccinations generally. That's collective choice. We do it because to make us have choice to not have diseases. Traffic lights, our whole system. That's a collective set of things. We live with rules and regulations. Doesn't mean we don't want it. I don't want to have to be stopping wherever and doing whatever. I want to do my own thing. But when the needs of the collective, when it is more important than your individual need, I think you have to think about it. So I think that when I tell people, if you don't want to vaccinate for you, that's fine, but vaccinate for the older people. For the obstetrics, the children
who can't get vaccinated.
That's it. Yeah, the 3-month-old who their immune system is a bit lower, so therefore they can't get they'll get COVID and they can't fight very well. So we have the children, with older people, the obstetric women who they can die with COVID. I'm saying do it as for a collective thing. If you just wanna think about it. Individual choice, you have a choice, but sometimes you have to make a collective choice to have collective freedom, and that's my third point.
You have to think we, not me, because all of us in this thing together.
Exactly.
And that's the only way we're going to get out of it at all. So we're going to take a pause as we head into our mindfulness moment on our final episode. Oh gosh, I need some mindfulness.
Hi, and welcome to another Mindful Moment. Today I want to talk to you about practicing self-compassion. We've talked about our thoughts and how they don't represent who we are, and our thoughts can sometimes be unkind. So be mindful of the way that we speak to ourselves. You want to speak to yourself the way a good friend would. And really be gentle and kind to ourselves in the way that we speak to and about ourselves. I want to take us through a little visualization and just to encourage us to close our eyes and just practice that you were facing somebody that you really cared about, sending you lots of love. Just feel where you feel that in your body, usually in our heart or our chest. Good job. You're going to radiate that out to your community, to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, to the Caribbean. You're sending that loving energy all the way out to the world. And now imagine that it's being reflected back right at you. It may be helpful to put a hand over your chest as you breathe that loving energy in. And another technique that we often do is to imagine you're giving yourself a hug. We call this a somatic hold, just really supporting yourself and nourishing yourself. You can do this anytime you need to. You breathe in that loving energy and let go any unkind thoughts. And remember, you can always come back to nurturing yourself and being here now.
It's Rome, and we are here. We're chilling with the boys. We're liming with the kids. We're doing this all for the PED CARES Foundation. So we need you at home watching us to go donate, donate, donate. Head over to the pedcares.org and send that donation, whether it's via credit card, direct transfer, because we want to make sure that the kids of our pediatric emergency department get the best possible care that they can get, because we need to take care of the next generation. The future lies with the kids. You all ready? On three, we go and say yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Yay! The PED CARES Foundation. Back from our final mindfulness moment on the final episode of season 2 of Homefront. And we're here with JP, the woman behind the entire show. So JP, you gave us 3 great points so far.
Yeah.
And you have 2 more for us.
2
Let's
more,
go.
2 more. All right, cool. So remember last time, football, I spoke about mess. I changed it. It's now messy. The football.
It's not
right?
messy.
It's now messy,
Okay,
right?
I'm a Ronaldo fan, but okay, we'll go with Messi today just for you, JP. There you go.
So we have M is mindfulness or meditation. E is exercise to make sure you have a balanced life. S for socialization. S also for sleep. And of course, I, not for sex, but for intimacy. So it might be sex also, but it might be just a hug, a touch, whatever. So just to make sure in your life you have Messi, the footballer.
Messi.
Yeah, and just follow that. And so far, you can just live a balanced life and actually live a higher quality, longer life.
Okay.
Yeah, and the last one is affirmations. We mentioned that last time, but I still think people, in terms of, when long ago when we had the caveman and stuff like that, cavewoman, people used to come out and your brain is hot-wired to have a negative thought to protect you. So you might go out and see your brain might say, it looks like a lion somewhere. And your negative part will say, oh God, let's not go out. And your positive side will say, nah, I think it's cool. The negative protects you. So the brain is sort of like hardwired to go negative. You have to bring it back. So affirmations to tell yourself, when you go and say, hey, that was a real stupid boy, a real stupid, make sure you tell your brain, before you go to bed at night and in the morning time, have your own affirmation. So I want to share a few of mine, right?
All right, let's go.
I
will
like
share
10.
mine with you.
Yeah,
I will share
already.
mine with you too.
So
Let's
I've
go.
been vulnerable here.
Yeah,
Rome,
me too.
right?
I'm going to all little judge, all little judgy. A little judge yourself. We opening up with you on the final episode. All right.
Opening. So one of my main ones, I say, don't forget, kind and loving. So I try to make sure every day I remind myself about that, to be a kind, loving person. But it's not a long word. So it's kind and loving. I'm a woman of action. I choose to be happy. And if I am really worried about, not even worried, if I'm going to a big meeting, I'll be like, I got this. And I'll do myself this. Right? And that is the ultimate. When I do that, I'm like, my brain says, you got this no matter what. And I go out there. So I'm just saying that if you make it 3 or 5 words, you say it whenever you go to bed. I have a whole list of them. And so I know I have to determine my reality, my destiny. And if I tell my brain that, I determine it. So once I do that, my brain gets that balance of being less negative and then being neutral. You don't want to be like, we do, but you want to be neutral, be appreciating life so far. Yeah?
Right,
And that's
right.
my 5, Rome. My
All
5,
right,
I'm
good,
done,
good,
I'm
good,
done.
good. I would say that based on the last season, right? And this is me being open as well too, is that you mentioned the affirmations, and I started to do it as well. And it was just me reminding myself of certain things, and then to me trying to reinforce in myself things that I would want to happen that may not have been happening before. So I found as when I started to talk to myself and tell myself things, then it started to happen.
It does. Seriously, that vision,
I told myself, okay, I'm going to exercise 4 days a week. So I started with the affirmations and telling myself, you are fit. And every time I told myself, you are fit, every morning it reminded me, yo, you have to go exercise. So I would start with, you are fit. And then I told myself, you are great. To give that positive reinforcement that you are, I said, you are fit, you are great. You will achieve greatness. I said, you are honest. So honesty is something I live by. So nobody could break that in me. I can't dangle money over my head because I know honesty for me. I would go with things like, you are always on time. Because I had a problem where I always home and I'm waiting to get ready, and then when I reach somewhere, I'm 5-10 minutes late. So now I am always on time. And I tell myself that every morning to make sure that I'm always on time. And then one that jumped out to me, I would always tell myself, you deserve love,
Yep.
and you will love unconditionally.
Yeah, that's a great one, actually. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it means that not only in romantic relationships, but just with your family and the people that you care about, is that you just love unconditionally. So when I keep telling myself this now, I would do a lot more for the people that I love. And it would come as a second thought. It just comes naturally.
You train your brain.
Yeah,
and
you train your brain to do it.
And the brain sees what you tell it to see. So therefore it becomes if you're seeing red or green, you're actually saying, see red now. If you actually tell your brain, look out for the number 7 on this day. On that day, it will start to pick up 7 everywhere. So if you tell yourself that, you will find that unconditional love wherever.
Yeah.
Not from us, but yeah. You will.
Well, I get plenty of love from a home front family. A point with that, though, I saw somebody did an experiment with that with yellow.
Yeah.
They said, look for a yellow car.
Yeah.
And you would see so many more yellow cars than the day you were not looking for yellow cars. You'd be like, you don't really have much yellow cars in Trinidad and Tobago. And then when you're going down the road this evening or this morning or whenever you listen, generally like, but where all these yellow cars come from, boy?
Makes your brain look out for it.
Your brain starts to look out for it.
Yeah,
so I like those 5. I like those 5.
Yeah,
so JP, in terms of this season, how do you think it went down?
Well, actually, I must admit, I loved this season because we real deep dive. We had conversations with, and we listened room. I think the first season was us saying just about information, but we're saying we're more than that. We had fun, but we were listening to the experts and we were listening to Trinidad public a little bit more. But I also want, it's the same way how we were listening, I want them to listen. 2 things. Listen to each other. 3 things actually. Listen to each other and also try to go out there and vaccinate. But think about the collective thing. That's all I really wanted. I was doing this just to make sure I make no other child die. I mean, people were talking about the fact that, they're not seeing it in hospitals right now. The doctors and the nurses, they're like, it's a war zone. They're really overwhelmed. They're tired. They're going 16 hours. So I'm doing this to share with the population about what the reality is, but to see that 360 degrees. When people walk around and say, oh, my life is good, I want them to see the other side of it, and that's the whole point. So this season for me was great.
I enjoyed it. And we must say thanks. Let me say all my thank yous one time on behalf of JP and myself to Dwellings, who for the entire season had us looking real nice. Looking from the centerpieces to the table to the backdrop to the flowers to everything. Thank you very much to our friends at Dwellings, to the PED CARES Foundation for everything that you all have done for us, and to you all at home for donating. And we still need you all to donate some more because we're doing it for the kids. To the whole crew. All you, give all yourself a round of applause. The camera crew, the producers, audio, everyone that made this show possible. We want to thank you all very much. And to you, the viewers at home, for making this the best show on TV right now. The best show on TV, and all of our sponsors, because without you, we would not be able to get this show off the ground. So we want to thank you all very much, and to all of the television networks that have broadcasted us. Now we all over.
All everywhere.
Bro. Yeah. Now we all over. So y'all, thank you very much. This has been season 2 of Homefront. See y'all for season 3.
Dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. In the still of the night, I lay listening to you breathe. People search for heaven all their lives. How lucky am I? Heaven's breathing next to me. Oshun mi ba fishani. Oshun mi ba.
Vision, expertise, world-class operations. These are the pillars on which the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, NGC, has built its legacy as a world-renowned natural gas player and titan of Caribbean energy. NGC has operations and investments along the gas value chain and sits at the helm of a flagship group of energy businesses with a globalizing footprint. National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited owns and manages industrial estates, ports, and marine infrastructure, as well as facilitates the local and regional development of energy-based industries. Another subsidiary, Labray Industrial Development Company Limited, known as Labidco, facilitates industrial estate management, port operations, waste management, warehousing, and logistics services in support of the energy services sector. Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited, or PPGPL, owns one of the largest state-of-the-art cryogenic gas processing plants in the region, as well as NGL marketing assets in North America. NGC CNG Company Limited promotes the use of compressed natural gas, or CNG, in the domestic transportation sector and supports expansion of related technologies and infrastructure. Through a burgeoning portfolio of green agenda investments, NGC and its subsidiaries are now transitioning into a future built on clean energy. We are the NGC Group, an integrated energy company, a model for prosperity.